What's up guys, Matt back again with another unboxing video, and today we're going to be reviewing the new History Box Ultimate Gohan. Before we dive into the video, please remember to subscribe and hit the bell, like the video, comment your thoughts down below for us to discuss, follow me on my socials, and consider becoming a YouTube member to enter into our monthly giveaways and Discord server so our community can help you on your Dragon Ball figure collecting journey. This figure is based on Son Gohan from the Majin Buu arc of Dragon Ball Z. The figure itself is based on the moment Gohan returns to Earth in order to fight Super Buu in Dragon Ball Z Chapter 303. This figure is a History Box release, which are Ben Presto Diorama Crane figures. This figure sells for an average price of about $25 to $30 on the market. If you're interested in buying the figure for cheap, then use my discount code Peaches24 at bashwincollectibles.com to get 10% off of your first order and 5% off of every future order afterwards. This figure was released on March 3rd, 2024 in Japan. Gohan stands at about 5.5 inches tall, weighs 10.5 ounces in box, weighs 3.5 ounces on his own, and the figure comes whole with his base. Alright, back again with another History Box review. I feel like History Box and Solid Edge Works are almost in the same league at this point with my thoughts and feelings, whereas like there are some releases that are kind of good, and then some releases that are just majorly disappointing. So I will say the last Gohan that I reviewed kind of impressed me, and without spoiling too much of this review, this Gohan kind of impressed me too, but let's talk a little bit about it. There are still some major areas that I think could have been done better, but Ultimate Gohan, probably one of the most iconic forms next to, say, Super Saiyan 2 and Gohan Beast for Son Gohan himself. It's his first unique form in the franchise. It wasn't really a form at first, and then eventually they retconned it to be a form in Dragon Ball Super, but either way, I do really like it. It's kind of one of my favorite looks for Gohan just because of how unique it is. I love the way Gohan looks and what he does in the form. It's a shame that he didn't get to defeat Majin Buu in the end, but it is what it is. I love that Buu arc characters are getting representation in the figure market outside of just Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Majin Vegeta. I feel like those two are always the only ones we get. So seeing Ultimate Gohan when he first arrives is very cool. It is an iconic moment in my opinion. So I'll give the character choice definitely a 5 out of 5 for Gohan. His likeness is not that bad. It's not perfect, but it's not that bad. I would say, you can tell a likeness on a figure is perfect when it's actually sculpted in. It has details like those lines under their eyes and above their eyes. And, you can see like emotion or character in their face, and they sculpted their mouth nicely, things like that. That's when I'm like, yeah, this is a perfect likeness on a character, and it looks like the character, obviously. But a lot of Crane figures, and this one included, you can tell when it's just kind of just drawn in, like painted in. There's a stark difference. You can tell side by side next to these. You compare this figure to the Ultimate Gohan from the Dragon Ball Super superhero Ichiban Kuji, and it's like night and day. I will say that this one is pretty good. The manga that they're basing this off of is already kind of a funny looking Gohan in terms of his likeness because of the angle they take it from, but this one captures it fairly well. It's just, not super detailed. It does still kind of look goofy, like his smile is almost like penciled in and stuff. It just doesn't have a ton of detail, but it's not really bad. I'm going to give his likeness a 3 out of 5. I do like it. I think it looks cute. But it's not really like wow, but that's just my feelings on it. Moving on to the sculpt quality, I'm actually kind of impressed. His hair looks very good. The details of his gi, his muscles, all very well done. The figure itself looks very good, and there actually is a bit of attention to detail on his base. I know we've been seeing this stone base all the freaking time, man. Like, I always see the base that they're using. It's like, oh, put them on a bunch of rocks. Like, you just use this one again, which is kind of lazy, but it does kind of emulate the same smoke effect that Gohan does in the manga when he lands there and, you know, shows up to fight Boo. It almost looks exactly like it. So I was kind of impressed to see that, and I will give kudos there to Bandai for putting that in place. So yeah, I like that a lot. The only thing that I'm not really a big fan of is, you know, him being on a base. The figure can stand without it, but he's very wobbly. I wouldn't recommend it. Plus, he's so small. So without the base, he's going to stand at just 5 inches. So it's not really worth it. If you're going to display him, put him on the diorama. But yeah, I'll give the sculpt quality a 4 out of 5. I actually really liked it. I don't have any major complaints about it. You know, it's just the whole diorama thing, in my opinion, is just like, it is what it is. It's pretty good, just not perfect. The paint and shading, also pretty good. I think the only reason that I won't give this a perfect 5 is that it doesn't have any shading, which the argument of, oh, Crane figures don't get shading anymore. Some history box figures have shading on them, so there's really no excuse when talking, especially within history box, in that conversation. But I do like the colors, very bright oranges, that dark red orange that from the anime for Gohan, and I like the colors that they use in the rocks and the smoke, and there's a little bit of green in there. You know, I really do like that. And the black that they use for Gohan's hair, really, really good choice of black. It's like that very deep, dark black that I like to see, almost like when you see on an OLED TV. So I'm going to give his paint and shading a 4 out of 5. Really do enjoy the way that they painted this figure in particular. And his size and scale, of course, this is the area that I'm not the biggest fan of. I think, you know, looking at the average price of this thing on the reseller market and even the retail price on certain websites like Big Bad Toy Store, you're going to pay anywhere from $25 to $30, which is the same price you're paying for some of these other Crane figures and some of the same prices that you'd be paying for some Ichiban Kuji figures. You know, Fierce Battle at the Tenkaichi Budokai has a few figures at $30 to $35 in there. I think Goku is $35. So there's really no excuse to price something like this at this amount. This should really just be like a $10 figure because of the size, man. He is so small. They don't scale with each other, and they don't scale outside of their whole thing, and they're so small. So unfortunately, I'm still going to have to give him a 2 out of 5 for size and scale. It's just not acceptable. It's cute. You know, I've seen people in the comments say, you know, I put him on my desk at work, or, you know, they accent a shelf, which totally fine. But that still doesn't mean that the size and scale is good, right? That you're just taking what they are good at and making use of them in your own way, which I totally respect and really enjoy seeing. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. I really do like this one. I think History Box has a few golden gems in there. At a discounted price, I would recommend getting them. Maybe go through Bashwin. Bashwin can probably get them for a lot cheaper for you. But yeah, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm going to walk away and give him a 3.5 out of 5. Thank you all again for watching today's video. But before we move on to the upcoming giveaways this month, I'd like to mention my new merch that's launched. We've got shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more. If you want to support me a bit further and rock some of the merch on the channel, please check out the shop tab on my channel. But until the next video, guys, I will see you all later.